Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a list where I am going to be giving you my personal top 10 villains in professional sports today. Now, please understand when I say villain, I'm not talking like I actually think they're a horrible person or anything. I'm talking villain in the sense that typically they're very good athletes, but they have always played the role of the bad guy. Couple of plugs as always. Don't forget to use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel, Waggle, or Prize Picks. By using my codes on G Fuel or Waggle, you'll save a discount on any of their products, and by using it at sign up on Prize Picks, you're going to guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. But remember, always play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so as always, really quickly, we just have a short list of 3 honorable mentions before we get into the actual top 10, which won't really be in any order, by the way. So the 3 honorable mention villains we have are Sean Payton, Jose Altuve, and actually Micah Parsons is my third. I think he is slowly becoming one of the biggest villains in all of football. I'm a fan of his, but I think he is really good at getting under the skin of not only players, but fans. And I think he enjoys it too. And guys like that, by the way, much as you don't like them, they're great for the game. So, starting off with the first official villain of the list, give me Jalen Ramsey. Dude, this guy has always been a menace. Ever since he was drafted by Jacksonville, he has been a loudmouth, rightfully so. He's been one of the best players in the league at his position ever since. But man, did he come off as an arrogant prick for like the first 7 years of his career. I do think he has gotten better now, but I still see him as a bad guy. And also, don't get me wrong, this guy still talks his shit. He still has interviews going viral from time to time, but nothing compared to what he used to be. Does anybody remember what he said about Josh Allen? This was back in 2018. He said he thinks Josh Allen is trash. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. He's trash. And it's gonna show. That's a stupid draft pick to me. And when we get to play them this year, I'm excited as hell. Jalen Ramsey's record versus Josh Allen since he said that is 0-6. Fun fact I always just like to include. Seriously though, Jalen Ramsey has definitely earned a spot to be on this list. And even though, like I said, he has simmered down today, 5 years ago, if you went and asked 20 random people on the street who they hated the most in the NFL, I'm willing to bet 10 of them would have said Jalen Ramsey. Moving on to the next villain, give me Aaron Judge. Now, I know people are going to be like, what? Listen, this has nothing to do with Aaron Judge the person and everything to do with Aaron Judge, the New York Yankee. I'm a Minnesota Twins fan, okay? The Yankees, 1, are just villains, but for 2, the Yankees always simply have to have a Twins killer, and Aaron Judge happens to be him. He is the new Alex Rodriguez. He kicks the shit out of us every time he fucking plays us. Look at his batting statistics against the Twins all time. It's ridiculous. Aaron Judge literally pays limo drivers to ensure that the Twins pitchers get to the stadium in one piece every single game because he knows he is gonna light them the fuck up every time. I am convinced that every single sports fan out there has a player like Aaron Judge to me. Absolutely zero animosity to them outside of the sport, but in the sport, they are 2009 Randy Orton to you. They are the menace to your life, the bane of your existence. Every time he plays us, Aaron Judge ruins my fucking day. Moving on to the NBA now, give me Jimmy Butler. Oh, he has been a villain for a very long time, if you're asking me, and a little bit of this has to do with his stint in Minnesota, but more so just about the stories you have constantly heard about Jimmy Butler on a year-by-year basis as to how the guy is as a team player, and just how he can act on the court from time to time. Like, he's a spaz. He's known to have on and off-court behavioral issues. If he's not happy on a team, he is getting out of there no matter what it takes, and he is even openly said that he is a villain and he has no issue playing that role. Does anybody remember the practice story from when he was a Timberwolf? This guy hated Karl Anthony Towns, right? He didn't like a lot of the starters on the team. So he showed up to practice once, grabbed 2 bench players, played 3 of the starters in a 3-on-3 game, beat the shit out of them, screamed, "You fucking need me," and stormed out of the gym. Okay, I can't even act like that isn't mad impressive, but at the same time, it's like, huh? Or when he was holding out for the Wolves but sitting on the sidelines and we were getting our ass beat, so we started waving a white towel. Like, dude, he's a menace. Jimmy Butler is a villain. Although I will admit it's hilarious of how he trolls the league every single year. He has the most ridiculous hairdo for the most ridiculous player picture. And there has been points where they literally use his 2K picture instead of his actual one on like live games. Jimmy Butler, good for the game, but like I said, villain. Moving on next, you guys had to have known this one was coming, but we have Stefon Diggs. He is absolutely a villain and he loves to play the villain. But the thing about Stefon Diggs, and I know this because I've watched him a ton, is that he genuinely enjoys acting like he is not. Like, dude, there is always drama surrounding Stefon Diggs. There always was as a Viking. There always was as a Bill. One day he's happy. One day he's cryptically tweeting that he wants to go somewhere else. Several instances where he's been seen blowing up on the sidelines, grabbing his stuff and storming out of the locker room before the team is even in there after an important playoff loss. Like, he does all this stuff, but then almost likes to be a Homelander where, like, he's the good guy out of all of it. He likes to sit back and act like, hey man, I'm just looking after myself and the team. I'm just trying to push everyone to be better. Sorry, I'm a passionate player. You can't make me a bad guy because I'm passionate. It's like, brother, you have been in every single offseason headline since 2015. Whether you actually mean what you say half the time or not, you can't say you don't love stirring the pot because you absolutely do. Stefon Diggs, even though an elite player, is also an elite villain. Moving on to the next villain, we have Bryce Harper, arguably my favorite player in the MLB right now and arguably one of my favorite players of all time. I love Bryce Harper, but this guy is without a doubt, well, he used to be more of a villain than he is now, but he is still quite the villain. Dude, people hate Bryce Harper. If you go look up the most hated baseball players in the league right now, he will be #1 on half the list you look at. The thing about Bryce Harper is that he has been in the league since he was 19 years old. And also, he has been one of the best players in the league since he entered the league, and Bryce Harper is very well aware of that. He knows how good he is. But throughout his career, he has been known to have attitude issues. He has fought with his own teammates, still is an absolute hothead when it comes to the umpires. And I can see how he comes off to some people as, you know, just like an arrogant tool bag who has to get what he wants or he's gonna be pissed. But the thing about Bryce Harper in most of his ejections and arguments with umpires, if you go back and look, I would say comfortably 95% of the time he is lighting an umpire up. He's right. If Bryce Harper says the ball's too high, it was too high. You can go watch the replays. Like, very rarely is he wrong. And unlike 99% of the players in the league, and I'm not saying you should act like this, when he knows he's getting fucked over, you are absolutely going to hear about it. Bryce Harper, one of my favorite players, also probably one of the biggest villains in baseball. Moving on to the next villain, we go to the NBA again. We have Draymond Green. I could be wrong on this, but as far as I'm concerned, every time I've seen Draymond Green throughout his career, the guy has been an asshole. Now keep in mind, I didn't watch a ton of Draymond until Golden State got under that spotlight for like 5 straight years, and that's when I really got to see just how much of a prick he is in his interviews, his constant blow-ups, the fact that he blatantly just hurts other players, kicking Steven Adams in the balls. He stomped on a guy's chest 1 or 2 years ago in the playoffs. I think it was a playoff game anyway. Punched a dude from the Suns, fought Jordan Poole at practice. Like, he is just such an aggressive, trash-talking loudmouth. Again, though, I will go on the record to say Draymond Green, or guys like Draymond Green, good for the game. He makes it so much better when you beat Golden State, but he also makes it so much worse when you lose to them. Draymond Green very well might go down as one of the greatest NBA villains of all time. Moving on, next we have Jake Paul. I don't think anybody will argue with this. You don't have to like the guy to say he's one of the best villains in professional sports probably ever. Dude, nobody likes this guy. Like, he is literally one of the most hated human beings on the fucking planet. And he loves it. He loves to piss people off. That's how he's became what he is. The thing that bothers people the most about Jake Paul, and rightfully so, is that, you know, he is a boxer. He can fight. But it's who he chooses to fight. Like, why is this guy in the prime of his life calling out people who are retired in their 60s? Anderson Silva, Mike Tyson, old NBA players like Nate Robinson, old MMA wrestlers like Ben Askren. And the one time he does fight a real boxer, Tommy Fury, he loses. Yet he still likes to talk about the fact that he thinks he can beat Canelo Alvarez and all these big names. Like, he does such a good job at making people upset that you can't deny he is one of the biggest villains in the world. Would I love to see him knocked out face down in the middle of the ring one day? Absolutely. And you want to know why it's going to be so nice to see? Because he is that good of a villain. Moving on to the next villain, or villains, I should say, we have the entire team of the Kansas City Chiefs. And no, I'm not just going off that they're cheaters or whatever here. I'm just simply stating that with success naturally comes being the villain, the bad guy, which they are. They openly express it all the time, how they are the bad guys and they embrace it. Dude, unless you're a Chiefs fan, you don't like the Chiefs right now. It was the same deal with the Patriots a couple years back when they had Brady for, you know, the whole 20 years. People got tired of him. People got tired of seeing him. When something or someone is so good for so long, people will turn on them. It's just how it works. You think if Kansas City never won a Super Bowl again after their first one, people would feel as strongly as they do against them right now? Because I guarantee they wouldn't. Nothing to do with the fact that you have the best quarterback in the league. Nothing to do with the fact that it's Taylor Swift. Nothing to do with the fact that, I mean, it does appear that the refs do help you guys out from time to time. Shoot me. But everything to do with the fact that they have just been one of the best, if not the best teams in football for, I don't know what, 5, 6 straight years now. They're natural villains. Next villain, once again back to the NBA, we have James Harden, the Beard. This guy I do think is just a tool bag, dude. I have never liked James Harden. In a way, he's a lot like Stefon Diggs, too. He will completely force himself out of situations, out of teams, and then try and sit back and play victim like, oh, I didn't have much to do with it. I didn't want to leave that bad. You guys don't understand everything that was going on. Like, brother, if a shit cloud keeps following you every single time you go somewhere, you're the one producing it. Another thing about Harden that's irritated pretty much everybody, including myself, is just how the guy plays the game. Like, can the guy shoot? Yeah, he can be an absolute sharpshooter, but it's not the most consistent part of his game. The most consistent part of his game is drawing fouls and going up to the free throw line. You know, pretty much the same shit SGA is getting right now. You guys would have never survived prime Harden. And again, it's not like he was constantly fouled. He drew them, which is like, yeah, great, you scored 35 points today, but 20 of them were standing at the fucking line with nobody guarding you. Like, to me, James Harden has always come off as a lazy bastard who just wants to be on the best team possible at all times. And moving on to the final villain, it's not Deshaun Watson. He should literally be in prison, but it is Aaron Rodgers. If you're asking me, Aaron Rodgers has been the biggest villain in the NFL now for like 5 years, pretty much ever since he started to force himself out of Green Bay at the end there. Dude, his own family doesn't like him. It's been said from multiple coaches and personnel and former teammates that the guy is difficult to work with. He's been prioritizing himself over the team. Last year, that showed by just not showing up to mandatory practices with the Jets. And I think the guy is absolutely terrible at taking any sort of negative accountability when it comes to his game or the game that they just played. It's never his fault. In his eyes, I still think he thinks he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. He carries this persona that like teams should be on their knees for him, that he should be in charge of the team, that he should be dictating who coaches are, who players are. And when those same players drop a wide open pass from him, he'll stare at the sidelines like, why are you fucking doing this to me? The guy also claims he doesn't like attention, yet any opportunity he gets to go on a podcast or TV, he takes it. And on top of everything, I think the guy is just like absolutely nuts. Going on darkness retreats, taking psychedelics, drinking cayenne pepper water because it's the fountain of youth. Are we sure he doesn't have CTE? Either way you want to look at it, Aaron Rodgers comes off to me as a villain, as a person, as a player. But at least we can give him the tip of the hat that, unlike Deshaun Watson, he shouldn't be in prison. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for 10 of the biggest villains in sports today, if you're asking me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, let me know in the comments where you agree or disagree or some people that I might have left out. In the meantime, I'm going to get this edited so you can all watch it on time. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday. Enjoy the weather as it continues to warm up. And as always, I will see you in the next video.